Hey, is that folk music there you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Broonzy, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
My name is Lucas Younger. I was born in the county Clyde. In the war to save the Union, I fought on the losing side. When the bodies fell like timber and the blood flowed like a stream, and the country unraveled like a seam. Now, as far as I remember, I have never had a cause to treat any man unjustly or trample any law. But you can push a man just so far before he'll turn and fight. And it doesn't always matter if he's right. Ooh, promise me one thing, you will bury me under God's wing. Ooh, in case I cannot sleep, please don't dig my grave too deep. In a deep and dark December, we were barely half alive. I really don't remember how the half of us survived. My brother joined the army and my mama joined the dead. And I joined up with Quantrill instead. We burned our way through Kansas and down to Tennessee, taking what we wanted, but not more than we'd need. Now I've been called an outlaw, but never to my face, and I will not be looked on in disgrace. Ooh, promise me one thing, you will bury me under God's wing. Ooh, in case I cannot sleep, please don't dig my grave. My name is Lucas Younger, I'm all of 25. And I know I'm not expected to leave this room alive. But if I should meet the devil, I will spit right in his eye. first time I was too scared to try. Ooh, promise me one thing, you will bury me under God's wing. Ooh, case I cannot sleep, please don't dig my grave too deep. Please don't dig my grave too deep. Thank you.
The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and you've been listening to a fine, spooky song by Rich Deans. Welcome to the show, Rich.
Thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. That was really spooky.
Spooky. It's been described that way. Yeah, it's a lament, more than even a lament. It's a song from the grave, so it is kind of spooky. You know?
Is it totally a fictional work, or is it based on a historical character?
It's based on a historical idea. The James boys, Jesse James and Frank James and Cole Younger. There is no Lucas Younger, but there were Younger brothers and the James brothers. And the song is based on the idea that these guys were, during the Civil War, they were part of Quantrill's Raiders for the South. And the kind of stuff they were doing during the war, the guerrilla raids and so on, when they continued to do that after the war, they were outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
Within the war, within the context of the Civil War, it was guerrilla operations. But then when they started to do that after the war had ended, they were outlaws. And this is a fictional idea of one of the brothers who doesn't exist, Lucas, but it comes from that concept.
Cool.
And he's dying as a result of what he's done, and his idea that he might want to come back, you know, so don't put him too deep in the ground, because he's not sure if he's done yet, and that's the idea, where it came from.
Cool, great song.
Thanks.
You currently reside in Nutley, New Jersey.
Nutley, New Jersey.
And you're a folk project member.
Yeah. I've been a faithful member for quite a few years. Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in. I was born right by Nutley in Clifton, in New Jersey. I'm a Jersey boy, and Clifton and Montclair, New Jersey, in that area.
Couldn't tell it by that song. You sound like a real Southerner.
Yeah. Well, I moved around a lot. I mean, after high school, I moved out to California, and I lived on the West Coast for a long time, too. And I haven't lived in the South a lot, but I've made a lot of trips to the South and to Nashville and so on. I do a lot of writing there. So that's the kind of stuff that, it's just, there's just more flavor for me in other places, I find, than my own background, which was nice, but wasn't mythic. And I find these other places, I love, New Jersey's a great state, but I personally haven't found the myth in Jersey. I'm sure it's there. There's a lot of great stories. But I guess I just sort of plug into historical things that I thought of when I was a kid, the places I dreamed of, the cowboy stories and so on that I heard.
Why don't you give us another one of those?
Sure. I'm gonna sing a song that's kind of a sister-brother song to this. It's another outlaw song. It's called Outlaw Son. And this is a little bit about how this type of lifestyle can be passed down even when someone might not want it to be passed down from father to son. First thing I remember when I was a boy, got a Springfield rifle for my first toy. Bank on the corner, my first job. I stood in the alley while it was being robbed. Like the boy in the Bible I read, I always did what my daddy said, and my daddy always said, "You're better off dead." You learn to ride and you learn to run, you learn but you never want to learn to be an outlaw son. You never want to learn to be an outlaw son. Can't remember my mama, but I've heard it said she was pretty as a picture and her hair was red. Soon after she had me, she up and died. People say that's the only time I saw my daddy cry. Like the boy in the Bible I read, I always did what my daddy said, and my daddy always said they're better off dead. You learn to ride and you learn to run, you learn to hide and to hold a gun, but you never want to learn to be an outlaw son. You never want to learn to be an outlaw son. Was the 1st of September, little Texas town. I was watching the horses while the deal went down. A pretty little schoolgirl in a cotton dress. Daddy came out shooting, can't remember the rest. Like the boy in the Bible I read, I only did what my daddy said, and my daddy just said, leave her there, Red. You learn to ride and you learn to run, you learn to hide and to hold a gun, but you never want to learn to be an outlaw son. You never want to learn to be an outlaw son. Outside of my window, right beside the jail, I can hear them working with their hammer and nails. Over at the courthouse, I can see the crowd. It's already forming like a long black cloud. Like the boy in the Bible I read, I only did what my daddy said, and my daddy always said, you're better off dead. You learn to ride and you learn to run, you learn to hide and to hold a gun, but you never want to learn to be an outlaw son. You never want to learn to be an outlaw son. First thing I remember when I was a boy, I got a Springfield rifle, my first toy.
Yeah. Good one.
Thanks.
Both good ones.
They're very much related, obviously. I mean, I write a lot of other types of stuff, but those two songs sort of came out of each other. I was trying to really, at the time, write in another head in another time, and this, you know, I was really trying to make a shift from what I had been writing, just to try to see if I could do it as an exercise. You know, they sort of followed each other, those songs.
They came out good.
Oh, thanks.
So what else would you like to give us?
I'd like to play a song that actually is an old-timey sounding song, but it was actually inspired by very, very modern events. Right after 9/11, I was asked to play at a benefit concert, and I wanted to write something that was sort of uplifting, and at the concert, hopefully everybody could sing along. So I was trying to look for the type of stuff I remembered from, like Woody Guthrie, songs that were really Pete Seeger, you know, that was sort of inspired gospel. And the thing that inspired me about 9/11, as horrible as that was the way that people sort of came together, even senators and congressmen, you know, standing together on Capitol steps. Something I hadn't seen, and it was very inspiring. So I wrote this song called "You Can Count on Me," and I'd like to play that because it's something that I really like to play because it inspires me too.
Great. Let's take it away.
You can count on me. You can count on me. No matter how hard these times may be, you can count on me. This world is so uncertain. It spins us round and around. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never let you down. You can count on me. You can count on me. No matter how hard these times may be, you can count on me. So many roads to travel. Sometimes we lose our way. But you don't have to worry if you should go astray. You can count on me. You can count on me. No matter how hard these times may be, you can count on me. No matter how hard these times may be, you can count on me.
All right. Let's tell folks how they can find out more information about your recordings, your performing schedule, etc.
Yeah, everything is on my website, which is, you know, or they can just email me at richdeans.com. It's right there. And that's, everybody's been getting through me there, so it's very simple to find me. I've got everything posted there and so on.
Cool.
So I'm an easy find. I'm out there. And please, I want people to, you know, definitely contact me. This is great. This is a great way for people to hear what I'm doing and get in touch with me, I hope. Great.
What kind of places do you find yourself performing?
I've been trying to do coffee houses, and I just did the New Jersey Folk Project Festival, which was great. And I've been playing I've been doing some stuff up the Hudson River in the Hudson Valley, the Peekskill Coffee House up there. I've done the Minstrel Coffee House here. Do some regular shows, even in some bars and so on, but I really prefer the listening houses, you know, anywhere I can get. The smaller crowd that's listening to me is 100 times better than a bigger crowd that's not, because there's just no point to the music if it's not being heard, you know. So I'm trying to hit anywhere they'll take me and get out there as much as I can.
Okay, so anybody who's running a coffee house who happens to be watching this, Rich at richdeans.com.
Right. Reach out. I'm ready. I'm ready and willing to come and want to play. So.
Why don't you give us another tune?
Sure. Want to play along on this, on the harmonica?
Sure, but you got enough time for 2 more songs.
Oh, okay. Well, let me give you this other song first, and then we'll see if we get some time to go out on the other one. This is a train song. I like trains. I think they're like real American archetypes, you know, the idea of escape and so on.
Mike is a big train fan over there on camera number, what is that, camera number 1? Number 3.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
counting
for
backwards.
This is for Mike on the camera there. Every night I listen to that train go by, rattling my windows and my walls. And in the morning it comes back around, like an old ghost wandering down a hall. Sometimes I think that you are like that train. You just arrive then disappear. And I'm a station platform in the rain, on your way from here to there. But if my heart was a train, I would roar down that track like a hurricane. You'd never see my lights again if my heart was a train. I swear someday I'm gonna leave this town. Just pack my bags and ride away. You're not the only one who likes a train, and there's no reason left to stay. But every time I find the strength to leave, you pick that moment to return. And suddenly my engine loses steam, and I can't get my wheels to turn. But if my heart was a train, I would roar down that track like a hurricane. You'd never see my lights again if my heart was a train. The world keeps turning and I'm left behind, watching trains go by and disappear. I know I'm never gonna make you mine, but I keep holding on to something that's not there. But if my heart was a train, I would roar down that track like a hurricane. You'd never see my lights again if my heart you'd never see my lights again. If my heart was a train.
All right. We just have time to thank you, Rich, for being our guest on Horses
Thanks
Sing
so much
None
for
of It.
having me, Ralph. It's really fun. It's really great.
And for more information, you can go to www.richdeans.com, or you can write Rich at rich@richdeans.com.
That's it. That's great.
And we rehearsed a little song of yours to
Yeah,
take it
yeah.
out with.
This is Blue City. It's my CD's title song. And thanks again. Blue City is no place to live. Sky's always cloudy and leaking like a sieve. There's a teardrop stain on every pillow. The only trees that grow are weeping willows. There's no signpost to show the way. But if your heart is broke, you know the way to Blue City. Remember the name down at the end of every lover's lane. Drive straight down Dream Street to Heartbreak Avenue. Then you come to the corner where everything turns blue. That's where you'll find me, better days behind me, in Blue City. I got a place in the bluest part of town. Right in the broken heart of town. I keep thinking that I'll get out someday, but every morning it's the same blue